Is depression just a chemical imbalance? Over 280 million people around the world are living with depression. According to the WHO, that's nearly 4% of the global population. Among adolescents, the rate is even higher. Over 20% have experienced depressive symptoms in recent years. But what's really going on in the brain? One of the most long-standing explanations is the monoamine hypothesis. This theory proposes that depression is caused by low levels of certain neurotransmitters, especially serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine. These chemicals play crucial roles in mood regulation, motivation, reward, and sleep. It emerged in the 1960s after doctors noticed that medications increasing monoamine levels like MAO inhibitors and tricyclic antidepressants seemed to improve mood. This idea paved the way for the development of SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. One of the first and most well-known is fluoxetine, or Prozac. These drugs target a specific protein on the presynaptic neuron, the serotonin transporter, or SERT. Under normal conditions, after serotonin is released into the synaptic cleft, it binds to receptors on the postsynaptic neuron, and then is quickly reabsorbed by the presynaptic cell through SERT. SSRIs work by blocking this reuptake transporter. As a result, serotonin lingers longer in the synaptic cleft and has more opportunity to bind to postsynaptic receptors. This enhances serotonergic signaling across multiple brain regions, particularly those involved in mood regulation, such as the prefrontal cortex, amygdala, and hippocampus. The idea is that by amplifying serotonin's presence and activity at these synapses, the drug may help restore balance in brain circuits that are underactive in depression. But the evidence hasn't always lined up. One major challenge: decades of research have not consistently shown that people with depression have lower serotonin levels than others. A 2022 umbrella review by Moncrief and colleagues concluded that there's no strong support for the idea that serotonin deficiency is the root cause of depression. Another issue is timing. SSRIs increase serotonin within hours, but their therapeutic effects can take weeks. If serotonin were the key driver of mood, you'd expect improvement to be immediate. This mismatch has led scientists to suspect that something else, longer-term neural changes, might actually be responsible for symptom relief. Still, serotonin might not be irrelevant. Critics of the serotonin critic point out that it's extremely difficult to measure serotonin levels in the human brain accurately, especially in vivo. Some researchers argue that the real problem isn't how much serotonin there is, but how it's used and regulated, for example, through receptor sensitivity or transporter function. And that idea that depression might involve longer-term adaptations has actually been supported by newer findings. For instance, long-term SSRI use has been shown to stimulate neurogenesis in the hippocampus, a brain region critical for memory and emotional processing. So perhaps SSRIs work not by flooding the brain with serotonin, but by initiating a cascade of plastic changes over time. More broadly, many scientists now agree that depression is multifactorial. It may involve genetic vulnerabilities, disrupted brain circuits, chronic stress, inflammation, and early life trauma. Neurotransmitters are still a key part of this picture, but they are no longer seen as the entire picture. The monoamine hypothesis may not tell the whole story, but it gave us a starting point. It led to real treatments that have improved and even saved lives. Its real value lies in how it shaped the conversation and how that conversation continues to evolve. Because in neuroscience, like in life, progress doesn't mean finding the one perfect answer. It means asking better questions.